The battle for Bakhmut is the focus of the fighting and has become the site of Europe's deadliest infantry battle since World War II. Ukrainian troops are expected to launch a counter-assault soon as their commanders claim that Russia's assault on the town is losing steam. Kyiv says that Bakhmut is key to holding back Russian forces along the entire eastern front. For more, let's speak to Sergei Sumlene, a Berlin-based Ukraine expert. Hello, and thank you for speaking to France 24. Let's begin, first of all, with Ukraine's assessment of Russia's advances around Bakhmut. Do you agree that Russia's advance is losing steam?
Well, Russians definitely tried to take Bakhmut for months, and the battle for Bakhmut lasted longer than the battle for Stalingrad in World War II. That is like incredible dimension. And the fact that the Russians, until now, are not able to capture the city, which is located only 40 kilometers from the pre-full invasion contact line, that they could not go these 40 kilometers within over 1 year, it definitely shows that something is wrong with the quality of the Russian army.
Regardless of that, what would the Ukrainians stand to gain by announcing that they might be launching their counteroffensive soon, very soon in their words?
Well, we all are waiting for the Ukrainian counteroffensive, and it is clear that Ukraine is training new personnel, getting new weapons, not that much as they need, but still they're getting new weapons. Today, the first batch of the Slovakian MiG-29, 4 or 5 jets, should have landed in Ukraine. Media reported. Ukraine got new tanks, new infantry fighting vehicles. They need to go further. Also because the support of Ukraine depends on the Ukrainian success. It is a bit counterintuitive and illogical, but the West gives support to Ukraine only after Ukraine demonstrates some success. So in this logic, Ukraine is dependent on an attack, and for that, Ukraine needs to weaken the Russian troops, and that was the function of Bakhmut battle. Ukrainians pushed Russians into bringing more troops, more people to Bakhmut, and eliminated them. We know that the Russian losses in Bakhmut are definitely over 20,000. And we could see all these human waves which the Russians sent to the front line and how Ukrainians defended the city day by day. So now the Russian army cannot launch anything because we are all expected also that the Russians will try to start counter-offensive. But what Russians did, they only tried to capture Bakhmut and lost a lot of equipment and manpower. So now it's Ukrainian time. I think we will see something very soon.
Yeah, and you mentioned how important it is, this international support. Recently, we saw the tanks, we saw the fighter jets, as you mentioned. Today, EU leaders expect to finalize this deal to send 1 million artillery shells to Ukraine. How quickly can that material, do you think, actually make its way onto the battlefield and be of use?
Well, it is definitely not fast enough. It is definitely weeks, if not months delay, what we are experiencing now. And it is definitely too low numbers. Like Ukrainians said, they need 500 battle tanks. They have been promised now 200. And out of these 200, they maybe get 50 within this month or the next month. So it is definitely not the scale which Ukraine needs to save Ukrainian human lives and to effectively push the Russians back. But anyway, we see a huge development since 1 year. We see that Ukraine gets the weapons they couldn't get before. We see that any educational facility in the West, military one, is proud of the Ukrainian cadets and say they haven't seen anything like that before. So motivated, so good educated, so brilliant people who just want to master the new equipment. And from that perspective, I think what Ukrainians need now mostly is the armored vehicles, both tanks and infantry fighting vehicles for the ground. It is the shells because the shells, first of all, the high precision shells to switch off the Russian commander centers and ammunition depots, and the jets. From these three positions, I think Ukrainians get more or less first two, tanks and infantry fighting vehicles and ammunition. The jets are still a huge deficit, and here we see there is a deficit in the decision of the West, and we need just to see the truth. Ukraine is winning this war. The question is only how fast and with what price. And we can help Ukrainians to do it faster and to do it with the little price before the Chinese will identify us as a weak and will start to support Russia. And that would be a very bad game changer.
Sergei, thank you very much for your time and your analysis. Sergei Sumlin speaking to us.
Thank you so much.